Hello, everybody. So, we'll be talking about data interpretation. And I've seen a lot of coaching centers and other teachers not teaching about it. Um, Partially correct. It's okay. You need not be taught a lot about data interpretation, but I'll be solving all the good questions which have come in the past couple of years. And the main foundation of data interpretation is laid on two good topics or two important topics. They are percentages, percentages, and ratios. Okay, so these two topics are very important. If you know well about these two topics, then data interpretation is not a problem at all. What do we actually mean by data interpretation? We need to study graphs, we need to understand graphs, and just need to know what is written in it and quickly solve it out. Okay, I'll not be talking any more about it. I'll quickly take you to the questions now. Particularly in this video, you'll see that we'll be quickly solving questions and there won't be a lot to teach. I'll just read out whatever is in the question. I'll mark the figures, I'll do the calculations, and that's it. There's not much which needs to be understood. Okay. So there are three flavors of cup syrups, and every year the manufacturing has been given. The important thing which needs to be noted down is that the production is in lakhs. Okay, the production is in lakhs. There are three flavors and there are 5 years given. I'll take you to the question. The ratio of the average production of all the flavors in 2012. Okay, so I'll be checking 2012 all flavors. The ratio, okay, ratio needs to be found out 2012 all to the difference of the average production of flavors A and C in 2012, 13, and 14. Okay, so I have 2012, 2013, and 2014. These 3 years I need to check, and I need to find out the difference between A and C. And that difference is supposed to be done in a form of average. Okay, so first things first, I'll quickly go to 2012. In 2012, I can see that 50, 50, and 65. I won't be focusing on lakhs right now. Okay, I won't be focusing on lakhs right now. I'll just be focusing on whatever is given. Okay, the real numbers or the true numbers which are given, I'll focus only on them. 50, 50, and 65, this makes for 165. I need to find out the ratio of the average production of all flavors in 2012. 50 plus 50 plus 65 is 165. Okay, it's asking me the average production of all flavors. Average means upon 3. This is done. Left side is done. Now we'll talk about the right hand side. What does the right hand side say? A minus C. What does the right hand side say? The right hand side says A minus C and the average of 2012, 13, and 14. Okay, 12, 13, and 14. The years are 12, 13, and 14. I'll quickly do it for A in 12, 13, and 14 here. And for C, again 12, 13, and 14. For A, it is 50, 45, 75. 50, 45, 75. And for C, it is 65, 70, and 85. Okay. So what is the sum of all of this? This is 95 plus 75, which makes it 170. And this is nothing but 80 plus 70 is 150. 155. 155 is, this is 160. 160 plus 60 is 220. Yeah. 220. So this is the gap. So 220 minus 170 gives me a gap of 50, and the average is that of 3 years. Okay, so 50 upon 3 is my answer to this area. I'll apply it here. The average was taken out, A minus C, or simply the difference. The difference which I got was 50 upon 3. The 3 and the 3 gets cancelled. 5 tens are 50. 5 threes are 15. 5 threes are 15. So my final answer is nothing but 33 is to 10. Okay, my final answer is nothing but 33 is to 10. Okay, Moving on. Okay. So we have the production, in lakh tons for company P, Q, and R. And again, 5 years data is given to us. In the bar graph indicates the production of sugar in lakhs, three different sugar companies over these 5 years. The percentage rise in the company's production sugar by company Q as compared to the previous year is maximum in which year? So let me take you to the question. Our only focus is that of company Q. For company Q, I need to find out the figures for all the 5 years. So I'll write them down over here quickly. There is 60, there is 75, there is 90, there is 100, and there is 115. Okay, so this is how the growth pattern looks like across the 5 years. Now it's asking me, I'll go back to the question, the percentage rise in the production of sugar by the company Q as compared to its previous year is maximum in which year? So here the growth was that of 15 units. 15 units divided by 60 gives a rise of 25%. Here there was a jump of 15% or of 15 units over 75 quantities. That gives a rise of 20%. Now above 90 there has been a rise of 10 units above 90. So this gives me a rise of how much? 10 1 by 9 or 11 1 by 9%. 11%. Similarly, here there is a rise of 15 units over 100, so which gives me a rise of 15%. Okay, so this was easy to look at. So my final answer, according to the question, is that of 2016. In 2016, the rise in Q's production was highest when it is compared to the past year. Okay, according to 2016, when it is compared to the past year, the rise is the highest. Got it? Moving on. Yeah, so here the answer is 2016. Moving on. The given bar graph shows the imports and exports, rupees crores, okay, of a steel company by a country from 2013 to 2017. From 2013 to 2017. What is the ratio of the total imports in 2015 and 17 to the total exports in 2013 and 16? Okay, in 15 and 17 and 13 and 16. Okay, they need to be compared. And this is that of imports and this is that of exports. Okay, imports and exports. The import says 15 and 17. For 15, the imports are blue. That is 450 and 550. 450 and 550 makes it 1000. For 13 and 16, the exports call for 400 and 440. Yeah, so that is 840. I'll quickly solve it. 425s are and 421s are. So 25 is to 21 is my output. Yeah, 25 to 21 is my final answer. See, this is how simple it is. Simple addition, simple subtraction, and simple ratios and simple percentages. Only that is required in this entire chapter. Okay, moving further. We have the age-wise breakup available, and this is the number of workers on one axis and age-wise in the next axis. The number of workers whose age is 32 years or more but less than 44 years is what? Whenever you get this kind of a graph, it says 32 or more and less than 44. Less than 44. So when we say 32, this projection works in that manner, that this is 32 plus and this is 44 plus. If somebody asks me, is 32 included over here? Is 32 included over here? I would say yes. 32 is included over here. If somebody asks me, is 44 included over here? I would say yes, that 44 is included over here. So it is asking me 32 years is acceptable and but 44 years is not acceptable. So I will not be adding this. But 32 years is acceptable, so I will add this and this. So 80 plus 70 is 150, 150 plus 10 is 160, 160 plus 70 gives me the answer as 230. So the number of workers whose age is 32 years or more but less than 44 years. What did I actually do over here? What did I actually do over here? I'll tell you. If 32 is written over here and it is a label available, this means that 32 and above, 32 and above is here on, is represented here. If 44 is written here, this also means 44 and above. But the question says the person needs to be less than 44 years. So 44 years, the bar which is associated to 44 years is not going to be counted. Okay, it's not going to be counted, and only 230 would be my answer. Got it? Got it? Yeah. So moving on. This is the histogram showing the daily wages of workers in a factory. Okay. The number of workers is on the left hand side. No. Yeah. The number of workers is on the left hand side and the wages are given on the bottom. The vertical side is the wages, the numbers, and the bottom side, the horizontal side is the wages. The number of workers with daily wage less than 180 is what percentage of the number of workers with daily wages more than 190? Okay. Daily wages less than 180 and more than 190. Okay. So more than 190 is on this side and less than 180 is on this side. So 117 would not be accounted for. I'll be adding up these three and I'll be adding up these three. When I add the ones which are lower, it comes out to be 188 plus 55, 188 plus 55, which gives me 243. 243 is on the lower side. Talking about the higher side, this is 255. 255 plus 70 is 325. Yeah, yeah, 325. 325 is on the upper side. Now, the question said, I'll bring it here, okay? 243 and 325. 243 and 325. 243 is here, 325 is here. What is the percentage of the number of workers with daily wages more than 190? No, what is the percentage of the number of workers with daily wages more than 190? The number of workers is what percentage? Okay, so I have to check 243 is what percentage of 325. I'll follow the long division method. I will follow the long division method. This is 243. So yeah, there is 100 that is required here because this would give me my final answer in terms of percentages, right? So 8 threes are 24. That is not going to help me. 7 is going to help me. Okay, 7. The question, first question is 7. 7 fives are 35. 7 twos are 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 7 threes are 21. This is 2275. Okay, this would give me my answer as this. 155 is left behind and 1550. Now the answer is supposed to be 4 or 5. Okay, so A and D would have a clash. So we need to find out if 7, if I multiply it by 5, the answer will definitely go beyond 1600, which is not going to help me. So I will have to go with 4. When going with 4, my answer would come out to be 1300. Okay, my answer would come out to be 1300, and what would be left behind is not of any relevance because 74.8 is one of the options. Got it? Moving on. Yeah. The following bar graph shows the milk production in million tons for 4 years. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 years, and milk production by these three brands P, Q, and R. What was the average production of milk per year over a period of 4 years? Okay. Has it been asked that which one of them needs to be answered? No. No, I don't think so. Which average production per year over period of 4 years? Okay, what was the average? So we don't have a company. We need to find it out for all the 4 years. I'll find it out by each and every month, by each and every year first, and then add all of them, then divide it by 4 one more time. Okay, I'll have to divide it by 3 for 1 year because there are three brands available. So 50 plus 40 is 90, 90 plus 30 is 120. The total is 120. I can simply divide it by 12 as well. Okay, I have to divide it by 4 because of 4 years and 3 because of three companies. I have 120 over here. I have 75 over here. I have 90 over here. And I have 75 over here. 75 plus 75 make 150. 150 plus 120 make 270. 270 plus 90 makes 360. Okay. So this is 12 ones this is 12 threes So 30 is my average production. Okay, that is one of the options, which is option B. Good enough. So moving on, people might have a question of why did I divide it by 4 and 3. I'll tell you what. Let's assume that we only had 1 year and they had asked us to give us the average of 1 year only. Okay, had they asked us this question, our output would have been the total number of brands which are working together are 3, and the total production which I found out is equal to 120. So my answer would be 40 over here. But the question has been asked for 4 different years, and for the 4 different years I will have to do it for each one of them. I will have to divide all of them by 3 because there are 3 brands present. And then once I have the answer for all the 4 years available with me, I will have to finally divide it by 4. Why? Because we need, according to the question, we need the average. According to the question, we need the average production, and no particular brand, no particular brand has been asked. So can't help it because no particular brand has been asked, right? So I'll move on. Now, table data and tabulated data. Tabular data. So this is not much of a difference. You just need to need to identify a few things. Let's assume that somebody asks me the production of C. Somebody asks me the production of C in the month of April. So I can quickly come down to the point where 540 is my answer. If somebody asks me the production of E in the month of June, so I can quickly come here and say 800 is the answer. So you just need to like pinpoint on the right data. That is what data interpretation is all about. Okay, moving to the question. In July 2018, if the sales of the cars by dealer D, okay, so this person is in question, increased by the same percentage as in June 2018 over its previous month. This is June. Okay, let's assume that we are talking only about the month of the year 2018. Okay, June over its previous month. Over the previous month, this is the gap which has been created. Then what is the number of cars sold by D in July? Okay, the number of cars sold by D in July. Now, let me see the percentage increase because it says increase by the same percentage as June 2018 over the previous month. So if I have May over here, I have June over here, and I have July over here. In May, we were sitting at 600. In June, we were sitting at 780. In May, we were sitting at 600. In June, we were sitting at 780. In July, we need to predict and we need to find out the answer. The gap is that of 180. Okay. This gap was created 180 against the 600 cars which were being produced in May. When I multiply it by 100, I get to a point of 6 ones are 6 and 6 threes are 18. This means there is a 30% increase, which I can see between June to May. From May to June, there was a 30% increase. This means the same 30% increment needs to be done between July and June. So that means against 780, there has to be an increase of 130 over 100%. So as to find out my answer, right? 13 8s are 104, 13 sevens are 91, 91 plus 10 is 101. So 1014 is going to be my total number of cars sold by the company D in the month of July. Good enough? Let's move on. The ratio of the total number of cars sold by dealer B in January, April, and June to the total number of cars sold by dealer A and D in March is, okay. So for B, there is Jan, April, and June. And for A and D, I need to find it out for March. Okay, I'll take you to the data. For A and D, I'll just quickly change the color. For A and D, we are only focusing on March. Okay, so I'll find out the answer. A plus D, A plus D, March is nothing but 1350. 1350, right? Jan, April, June for B. Jan, April, June for B. Jan, April, June, right? You have to check it multiple times, okay? Jan, April, and June for B. 600 plus 580 plus 620. 600 is 1200. 1200 plus 500 is 1700. Another 100, 1800, okay? B for Jan, April, June. Yeah, 6, 5, 11. 11 plus 6, 17. 17 plus 10. 17, like 17 plus another 100 is 18. So 1800. The ratio has been asked. This is 1800 and this is 1350. I'll go back and check. Yeah, 1350 and 800. The ratio of the total number of cars sold by the dealer B in Jan, April, June. Yeah. So this is what I need to find out. 1800 and 1350. Quickly, I'll solve it. 5 2s are 10, 5 7s are 35. 5 3s are 15, 5 6 are 30. Yeah, 36 is to 27. 9 3s are 27, 9 4s are 36. 4 is to 3 is my final answer. Good enough? Let's move on. We are talking about consumption of tea in 5 different states across 7, across 6 years. The consumption of tea in which state and year is close to the average consumption of tea in state A over 6 years. We'll only be talking about state A and I'll have to find out its consumption over 6 years. If you quickly see, we are always above 112 and always below 153. So we'll have to choose a middle value. Let's choose the middle value to be 130. Okay, this is an average which I'm assuming. For A, for 2014, it will be minus 18. For 2015, it's going to be minus 8. For 2016, it's going to be minus 6. For 2017, it's going to be plus 2. For 2018, it's going to be plus 5. And for 2019, it's going to be plus 23. Okay. So this is minus 24 and this is plus 23. So which gives me a leverage of minus 1 here. Now I have a minus 9 here and a plus 7 here, which brings me minus 2. So 130 minus 2 by 6. Okay, 130 minus 2 by 6. This is the average, and if you really want to learn this method, which helps you, so this is, you may learn it from the average chapter which I have taught. We have 130 minus 2 by 6. This is 130 minus 1 by 3. So this is going to be 129.67. Yeah, 129.67. Now, the consumption of tea in which state and year is closest to the average consumption of tea in state A? I have gotten my answer as 129. Now I need to find out is if I can find out 129 somewhere. Else I will have to go with 130. Do I have a 129 anywhere? I don't have a 129 anywhere. So 130 is going to be my final call. Right? Moving on. Same. Percentage increase in total cars in 2016 over 2012. 2016, this is the area to focus on. Okay. 2016, one area to focus on. 2012, the second area to focus on. Percentage increase. We already have the totals available with me. So out of 120, the jump made it 180. So there was a plus 60 wala thing. Yeah. So there's a plus 60. Plus 60 divided by 120 multiplied by 100 gives me my answer as 50%. Okay. Gives me my answer as 50%. I'll move on. Study the data given and answer the question. Why am I reading that as well? Okay. So perhaps considering this question to be correct, there are students who take the engineering services and civil services examination in the US as well. So we have the total number of graduates who appeared and graduates out of the total graduates appeared. Okay, total number of candidates who appeared, total candidates. Okay, the ones, okay, if there are 60 people, let me just check if I am getting the thought right. Total number of candidates appeared. Okay, is it in thousands or something? Yeah, it's in thousands. I was wondering if 75 or maybe 110 is multiplied by 64, the answer is going to come in points. So number of candidates cannot be in points. So it was saved by this point. In thousands is already written, right? So this is the data. I've understood my data. How would you understand the data in the exam? Just see what the figures are. If all of them appear to be like, okay, in place, then quickly read the question. We have the year written over here. We have the quantities or the data written over here. Then total number of, and you have to find out the relationship between the two. Okay, you have to find out the relationship between the two. The relationship says that if 75,000 candidates appeared in 2020, out of these 75,000, 60% are graduates, right? 60% are graduates. So just finding it out. Okay, 7 6 are 42 and this 3, so this means 45,000 students for the year 2020 were graduates who also appeared for the civil services examination. Got it? So this is how you have to establish a relationship between the two numbers. Nowhere it is written that both of them are related, but upon seeing it you can understand that yes, they are related. Moving on. What is the total number of graduates who appeared for both civil services and engineering services together in the year 2022? Okay, so 2022, 80% students out of 120 plus 78% students out of 135. The quantities are in thousands. The quantities are already in thousands. Upon 100 to remove the percentage sign, and two more zeros here. No, three more zeros here, and three more zeros here. This is gone. Two zeros are gone. These two zeros are gone. Okay. So this is A twos, sorry, A twelves is 96. I have three zeros. 96,000 students are appearing for civil services, and then 78 multiplied by 135. 78 multiplied by 135. What I can do is I can split it into 13 and 6. I'll first quickly do it with 13. 13 fives are 65, and 13 threes are 39. 39 plus 6 is 45. 39, 13 ones are 13, and 17. 1755 multiplied by 6. Now 6 fives are 30. 6 fives are 30. No, 6 fives are 30. 0 3. 6 fives are 30. This makes it 33. 6 sevens are 42. This makes it 45. 6 ones are 6 and 10. 1 0 5 3 0. Am I missing out on any one of the zeros? Yes, I did. So 105300. This makes it 1,05,300. So this total comes out to be 2013 and 100 in the end. So 2013 and 100 in the end is my final answer. Got it? Got it? So simple maths, not much to think about. Now, there can be cases where you'll find line graphs. Okay, where you'll find line graphs. This means, and anytime you find it to be in the middle of the two, anytime you find it to be in the middle of the two, you are simply going to assume that it is 50%. That means between 400 and 500, if the dot is in the middle, I will assume the data to be 450. 100% of the times, 100% of the times, it always has a legend. Okay, it always has a legend or a reference. It always has a reference as to what this dot means. But if in 1% case this comes out to be a position that the dot is not mentioned, so you will have to assume it to be 450. You will have to assume it to be 450, right? I'll move on to the question directly. What percentage approximately is the total production of the company, is the total sales of the company in all the years together? What does it mean? Total production of the company is the total sales of the company in all the year. I'll quickly find out the sum of the productions first. I'll quickly find out the sum of the productions first. The productions are the blue lines. Blue lines mean 600 plus 650 plus 750. I'll write it down here, okay? 600, I'll call it 650, I'll call it 750, I'll call it 500. This is actually 500. I need not call it anything. This is 550. I'll quickly do it for the other one. I'll call it 450. This is 550. This is 500. This is 400. And this is 550. Okay. Approximate answer needs to be done. And total production is sales. These are sales. And these are the production numbers. The sum of sales is equal to the sum of sales is equal to 1100 sorry 1100. 1100 plus 900 is 2000. 2450. Okay, 2450. 650 is 1250. 1250 plus 1700, sorry, 1250 plus 750 is 2000. 2000 plus this is 3050. 3050. And this is the sum of production. So I need to find out 2450 divided by 3050 multiplied by 100. Okay. So this is 5 fours are 20, 5 nines are 45. This is 5 ones are 5. No, sorry, 5 6 are 30 and 5 ones are 5. 49 upon 61. So I think 10% less, 20% less. Yep, 20% less would be helpful. So this is, the answer is somewhere around 80%. Okay, the answer is somewhere around 80%. Moving on. Yep. So sometimes you will find the question to be very long, but the solution or but the answer to the question is not very different. Okay, I'll still read it out for you so as to help you understand. Two different finance companies declare a fixed annual rate of interest on the amount invested by the investor with them. Let's say let's say that two companies are there, right? Two companies are there, and both of them, this is very close. Okay, so if let's assume if I invest 100 rupees in company P, if I invest 100 rupees in company P in the year 1999, it would give me a return of 10%. That means it would give me 110 rupees for the 100 rupees which I invested in the same company. Okay, I hope you've understood. This is just the first line that I'm talking about. Two different finance companies declare a fixed annual rate of interest on the amount invested by the investor with them. Okay, we have understood things till here. The interest rate declared by these companies can vary from year to year depending on the variation in the country's economy and interest rate of the banks. What does it mean? That the interest is varying. Okay, the interest is going up and down, up and down. The interest is varying. Okay, simple. And what does it depend on? It depends on government policies, calamities, natural calamities, COVID, any epidemic, pandemic, whatever. Okay, simple. Going back, the annual rate of interest offered by the two companies P and Q is shown in the graph. Okay, this is news to us. We've already discussed this. Okay, so this is pretty much visible to us. Now, the annual rate of interest offered by the two companies P and Q is shown in the graph below. Study the graph and answer the question. Study the graph and answer the question. Yep. So this is the graph. What does the question say now? An investor invested a sum of 4 lakh rupees in company Q in the year 2000. In the year 2000, the company Q is this dotted company, and the one which is higher is P. The one which is lower, it is Q. So this means there was a 7.5% return, if I'm not wrong. No? Yeah, we'll assume it to be 7.5%. I will also do it with 9%. Okay? Yeah. After 1 year, the entire amount is invested in company P in 2001. So I'm first getting an interest of 7.5%. Okay? And the same amount is then invested again in company P. Company P is giving me a profit of 6.5%. Let me look into it a little more closely. Okay, let me look into it a little more closely. Yeah, I hope it's visible to all of you. Yeah. Hmm. No, 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 no. Let me see it a little more closely. Here I can see that there is 7% above and 6.5% below. Similarly, 9 and 8. This means that, mm, let me try to understand. I'm not able to figure out what is what. I'm not able to figure out what is what here. Like, what is why, what I mean, what is, if 9.5% corresponds to P or 8% corresponds to P. I'm not able to figure that out because you'll have the same problem in the examination. So I need to avoid that situation and I'll try to nip it in the bud. Yeah, so I have checked it and 9% is the answer. We've assumed that the answer is 7.5. So here, this is not 7.5, it is 9%. So once there is a 9% profit, then it also takes a 6.5% profit. So it's asking me what amount would the investor receive from company P. It means The investment was 4 lakh. Let's assume it is this. This 4 lakh would be subjected to two growths, one that of 9% and the other that of 6.5%. What I can do here is I can quickly apply successive increase in percentages and find out one final percentage, which is my answer. Okay, this is 13 and this is 200. Yeah, so 13 nines are 117. 117 upon 2 is 58.5. 58.5 would give me 0.585. Yeah, 58.5. Yeah, 50. This is 0.585. This means that 9 plus 6 is 15. 15.5. Somewhere upon around 16.85% would be my output. So I'll multiply this 16.85% into 4 lakh, which would give me the answer as 4 5s are 20, 4 8s are 32, 34, 4 6 24 and 3 27, 4 1s are 4 and 2 6. Yeah, so I'll have a 4 over here and I'll apply a 0 over here. This gives me the final output as 4,67,400 would be my final amount after investing in company P as well. Okay, I hope you've understood what I have done. Moving to the next question. If two sums are in the ratio 9 is to 10 are invested in company P and Q respectively in 1999, then what is the ratio of the simple interest in received from these two companies after 1 year? Okay, 1999, it has two interests, 10 and 8. Okay, 10 is for P and 8 is for Q. 10 is for P and 8 is for Q. Then the ratios are 9 is to 10. Okay, these are the percentage returns which I am getting, and these are the investment. Okay, now it's asking me a simple interest ratio. For simple interest ratio, I'll simply multiply them. 90 is to 80. Simple interest ratio. Okay, so both of them are gone, and my final answer is 9 is to 8. Okay, try to understand how simple things are. You just need to read properly and read between the lines. Okay, moving on. The following graph shows production in thousands of two types, P and Q, of vehicles by a factory over the years 2009 and 2014. Okay, 2009 to 2014. In how many of the given years was the production of type P vehicles of the company more than the average production of this type of vehicles in the given years? Okay, how many given years was the production of type P vehicles of the company more than the average production of this type? Okay, I'll talk about year P. Okay, I'll talk about year P. Hmm. Yep. So I'll quickly jot down the readings. For P, I'm assuming this to be 150, 150, and 150 again. We don't have numbers to them. Okay, that is a very difficult point. This is also 150, 150, and 200. No, it shouldn't be that way. It must have numbers. See, because just because this is a big place, just because we have a big place here, what I'll do is I'll try to write numbers which are valid for us. You'll definitely find numbers. Okay, this is 190, this is 150, this is 140, this is again 190, this is again 190, and this is 210. Okay, so if I add all of them up and find out the average, what I'll get, I have 190 how many times? 4 times. Nah, 3 times. We have 193 times. I'm assuming 190 to be the average. And for 3 instances, how many instances do we have? We have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 and 6. For the first instance, there is zero deviation. There is minus 40, minus 50. There is again zero deviation, and plus 20. So this means 190 and a slight deviation of plus 2. This is 90. This is minus 70 divided by 6. This gives me around 11. Yeah, 11 point something. Minus would be from 190. This gives me 179 as my average. 179 something is the average. So it says, in how many of the given years was the production of type P vehicles of the company more than the average production of the same type of the vehicles in the given year? So in how many years is the production more than 179? First year, second year, third year, and fourth year. These are the 4 years where the production is more than 179. Got it? Good enough? Let's move on. The total production of Type P vehicles in the year 2009 and 2011 is what percentage of the total production of the vehicles Q in 2010 and 14? I'll first move to Q, 2010 and 14. Q in 2010, this is the one. I'll change the color of the pen. This is Q, right? So I'll mark it as 110. No, this is 140, which I have marked. Yeah, so this is 140. 140 and 2014. In 2014, this was 290. So 140 and 290 gives me 430. Gives me 430. So this is 430. The total production of type P, 9 and 11. P in 9 and 11. This is 330, 230, 330. This is 330. 330. So my question is 330 upon 430 into 100. This should come out somewhere around 75%, a little more than that. Okay, so around 78% should be the answer. This is the safe answer which I have given. Moving ahead, the production of type Q in 2010. I'll quickly go there. 2010 Q, that is 140, is approximately what percentage of type P in 2014? In 2014, P is sitting at 210. 210. Okay, this is Q and this is P. What percentage of P in this? So this again means the same, 120 upon 210 multiplied by 100. 7 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21, 2 by 3. This comes out to be 66, 2 by 3%. Okay, 66, 2 by 3%. Moving ahead. The ratio of the total production of type P vehicles to the total production of type Q vehicles over the year is total production, okay? Type P and type Q. I'll quickly write down the sum over here for P, which is 190 plus 150 plus 140. Yeah, 190 plus 150 is 340, 380, 480, 480 plus 480 is 490, 590, 690, 690 plus 380. 690 plus 380, this gives me 8 and this gives me a 7. 6 and 9, 1070. Yeah, for P it is 1070. Now I need to find out for Q. Are they asking me the ratio or what? For P I have found out 1070. What about Q? What about Q? Q, here we are at 100, here we are at 200, here we are at 210. This is 290 and this is also 290. So the 100, 100, 200 is 300, 300 plus 500 is 800, 900, 1090, 1090 and 140. 1090 and 140. This is 0, this is 9, this is 1230. Okay, this is 1230. Q is 1230. We need to find out the ratio, simply the ratio. Does 107 and 123 have anything in common? I don't think so, because 107 seems to be a prime number. Hmm? Yeah, 107 seems to be a prime number. 123 is divisible by 3, no doubt about it. 19 6 no. 17 something, no. Nah, seems to be a prime number. So I'll gather the conclusion to 107 is to 123. Okay, moving on. Now, the following line, this is not a lean graph, this is line graph. Okay, shows the body temperature of a patient every hour in the hospital. At what time does the body temperature of the patient is the highest? My goodness, 38.5 degrees Celsius is the highest temperature, and that too at 1 p.m. See how simple the question is. You just have to read through them. Got it? Moving on. The point at where the line is the highest is the point where our answer lies. Okay? Now talking about pie charts. Okay? What happens in pie charts is that this is a circle. Okay? This is a circle. The entire circle has a 360-degree element in it. Okay? The central angle of a circle is 360 degree. Okay? This is the element of it. When I say element, I mean to say the most important point of a circle is that it forms a 360-degree angle at the center. And the same property is utilized in a pie chart. Let's assume out of this pizza, only it's cut in half. So this means there are two angles of 180 degrees each. If they are cut in four equal parts, then we have four angles of 90 degrees each. And this corresponds to 100% of data. This corresponds to 100% of data. And when I'm doing it in four equal parts, each and every portion corresponds to 25% of data. But how did I manage to call this 25 and how did I manage to call the other one 100? There is a reason behind it. When I say that I'm only using 90 degrees of something, out of 360 of total degrees, the value comes out to be 1 by 4. And once this 1 by 4 is multiplied by the 100% of the data, I find out that 25% is my answer. I find out that 25% is my answer. Got it? This is how the origin starts. Moving on. The pie chart represents the distribution of candidates who were enrolled for bank clerical examination. And there are a few who have passed and in 5 different institutes. Okay. Total number of candidates enrolled in 5 different institutes, and the total number of candidates passed from these institutes. Okay, so 5,500 is the total number over here, and 33 is the total number of students who have passed. Okay. The percentage of candidates who passed to the number of candidates enrolled for institutes P and T together is, focus points are P and T, right? P and T are the focus points. Who passed to the number of enrolled. Okay. What is the number of students who have passed from P and T? No. Let's find out the firstly, the number of students who have enrolled. P plus T enrolled. This is 40. Yeah. This is 40% of how much? 5,500. This is nothing but 2,200 students. Then again, P plus T, and I need to find out passed. Total number of students is 3,300. Out of 3,300, P and T together have 34% students who have passed. So now 33 multiplied by 34 is my answer. 3 4s are 12 and another 3 3s are 9. So 102. 102 when multiplied by 11 would give me 11 2s are 22, 11 1s are 11. So this answer would be 1122. I need to find out pass over total. The ones who have passed are 1122. Over total is 2200 multiplied by 100. These two get cancelled. This is 11 twos are 11 ones are then 0 1 not 2. This gives me 51% as my answer. Okay, this gives me 51% as my answer. Moving ahead, this might be a little rough but pretty much visible. Degree wise distribution. Okay, these are the degrees which are given to me. Total number of employees is also available. I'll move to the question directly. If the ratio of the male employees and female employees working in D is 4 is to 5. In D, there are total 64.8 degrees of employees who are working, and there is a ratio of 4 is to 5 in terms of male versus female. Okay, and that in department E. What about department E? Department E is 36%, 36 degrees, and in the 36 degrees, there is a gap of 9 is to 11. Okay, these are males and these are females. Then what is the ratio of the total number of male employees in D is to E is to the number of employees? Okay, I need to find out. I'll just quickly change my focus here. The focus is that on male employees of D is to E. These are D. This is E. Male employees of D is to E. Yeah. To the total number of employees in B. The total number of employees in B are 57.6. 57.6, and we need to find out the ratio. Okay. Okay, the ratio. Now talking about this, 4 upon 5 means 4 by 9 multiplied by 64.8 plus 9 upon 20 multiplied by 36. Okay, everything is in degrees over here. Everything is in degrees. We need not bring them down to any total numbers because these are ratio questions. Ultimately, it will get cancelled. So there is no point in bringing them down to numbers. Okay, 9 sevens are 63 and 9 twos are 18. So this is 7.2. 4 twos are 8, 4 sevens are 28. Yeah, 4 twos are 8, 4 sevens are 28. This is 28.8 plus 9 into, I'll rather do it 18 upon 10. 9 nines are 81, 81 twos are 2 ones are 2, 2 eights are 16, 16.2. This is 16.2 over here. 16.2, this all makes up as 5, and 1 would go ahead, 2, 3, and 4. So what I have here is 45 is to 576 or 57.6. This 45 is to 576 or 57.6, right? So is it divisible? The answer is yes. 3 ones are 3 and 3 fives are 15. Is it also divisible by 9? No, it's not divisible by 9. No, it is actually divisible by 9. 9 fives are 45 and 9 6 are 54 and 9 fours are 36. Okay, so this is upon 10. This makes it 50 is to 64. Another round, 25 is to 32. So my final answer is 25 is to 32. Good enough. I'll move on. Yeah. So we have a pie chart as well as a table. Okay, so this is when it gets very, very interesting. Table shows boys and girls in each and every school. There is another level of ratio that is maintained. Okay, so what is that? If the total number of girls from all the 5 schools is represented as a pie chart, then what would be the measure of the central angle corresponding to school B? Okay, so I'll first need to find out what is the total number of girls in all the schools. Okay, so for A, 3 by 7 are girls. For B, 2 by 5 are girls. For C, 5 by 8 are girls. For D, 1 by 3 are girls, and for E, 4 by 5 are girls. Can I still get a percentage out of it? Can I still get a percentage out of it? Let me check. For A, this means 28 multiplied by 3 by 7, right? So this gives me a 12% value. For B, it means 15 multiplied by 2 by 5, which gives me 6%. For C, it means 24 multiplied by 5 by 8, which gives me 15%. For D, this gives me 1 by 3 into 18, which is equal to 6%. And for C and for E, in the end, it gives me 15 multiplied by 4 by 5, which is equal to 12%. This is equal to 12%. I have everything in line. I have everything available with me now. Okay. So this is the number which I have gotten. Okay. This is the number which I have gotten. I am assuming that there are a total of 100 students in the batch in everywhere. Okay. And these are the number of girls which have come out of it. So I can say that there are 12 girls in A, 6 girls in B, 15 girls in C, 6 girls in D, and 12 girls in E. If I add all of this up, this gives me 36, 51. This gives me 51% of 100, which I assume to be the total number of students. So there are 51 girls. What does the question say now? What will be the measure of the sector angle corresponding to B? If there are total, I'll come here now. If there are total 51 girls and B is contributing to 6 of them, and I apply a 360-degree rule here, that this is the total 100%, right? So 3 17s are 51, 73s are 51, right? So, and 3 2s are 6. So this is nothing but 720 divided by 17. 17 4s are 68. Yeah, that is 68. This gives me 40. 17 2s are 34. This gives me 60, and 17 3s are 51. So around 42.3 degrees would be the central angle. Okay, it would be the central sector angle which would be corresponding to school B. Moving ahead, we have different sports and different number of students involved in it. If 24 students playing cricket are shifted to kabaddi, and there are a total of 2800 students, I'll first find out the number of students, then find the new ratio between cricket and kabaddi. In cricket, there are 23%. In kabaddi, there are 12%. And the total is that of 2800. Okay. 12 eights are 96, and 12 twos are 24. This is 33. So there are 336 students in kabaddi. And for cricket, there are 23 into 7. Okay. 7 threes are 21. 7 twos are 14, 15, 16, and multiplied by 4. This is 4 6 24, 6 4 6 24. Yeah. 4 ones are 4, 4 6 24, 2 there, 4 ones are 4. This is 664. Okay. This is the original one. This is the original one. 24 students are shifted to kabaddi. 24 students out of this, it means 620 students would be left here. And here, if I make it 24, I get the answer as 360. 0 is gone with 0. Then find the new ratio of the number of students cricket to kabaddi. Yeah. So this is 31 is to 18. Okay. 31 is to 18. Simple. Good enough. All right. Let's move on. What is the average number of students enrolled in hockey and tennis together? We're talking about tennis and hockey. The total here is 26 plus 14. This makes it 40. And it's asking me about the average. There are two sports involved. So 40 upon 2. This gives me 20%. So the average is 20%. Average number of students, it's not asking me average percentage. So it means 20% of 2800, which is nothing but 560. Okay, which is nothing but 560. Moving on. So yes, percentage distribution. I think this is the national budget expenditure. What does the question say? If 850 billion was spent in the year 2019 for interest on debt and military, then what would have been the total expenditure for that year? Interest on debt is this, and this is the military expenditure, right? It's saying military expenditure and interest on debt and 850. So here, if I add it up, 62 plus 6, this makes it 68%, and 68% value is corresponding to 850. 850 billion. What does the question say? What would be the total expenditure in billion for the year? This is a pie chart. It corresponds to 100%. If the value of 68% is 850, the value of 100% would be 850 upon 68 into 100. 17 fours are 68. 17 fives are 85. Um, I'll quickly do it to 25. So 1250 billion would be my answer, right? So 1250 billion is the total expenditure for that year. This brings me to the end of data interpretation. I already told you that I would be here only to focus and only to solve all the questions. There is not much of learning you'll get out of it. You'll only be able to understand of how to quickly solve the questions, how to pinpoint things, how to bring things to a stop, and how to manage two different DI questions together. Okay, so this is a level 2 problem. This example 3 which I am showing you here is a level 2 problem. Okay, so taking things forward, we are completely sorted, completely done, and I think let's call it a wrap, right? I'm just going through all the questions that we've done so that if there's anything that I've missed, I'll be able to talk about it again, right? So I think we are good. Yep. Thank you so much.